I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. I can't remain without the refiner. It's time to change what used to define me. Resist the pain, I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. I toss and turn, and tick by talk the hours burn, pleading for this night to end. A part of me begging to go back to sleep. It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am with all I have, waking up, facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. facing what's in front of me. I won't back down. I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. So here I am with all I have. I'm waking up. I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down. I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one.
Well, good evening, folks, or... Hold on. All right, coming through a little louder now. Good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 178, and we're just hanging out this stream, and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of songwriting. This is actually a song that I'm hoping to release sometime in the future, but it's very much in the early stages. It's really just an idea. It's not even a song yet. It's just a song idea. And so I want to share with you guys my process, how I take just a simple guitar idea and how I start to bring it to life. It's probably my favorite part of the process because I love, like, you have an idea in your head and you can imagine what it can be, but it's not quite the same as actually hearing it. Like, you're only imagining the drums and imagining the bass and what else there might be, but it's not as satisfying as when you hear it for real. And so my favorite part is definitely bringing those elements together, recording the guitars and writing a drum part that complements it in the right way, and then figuring out how to fit the bass in there and coming up with a vocal melody and all that stuff. Definitely my favorite part of the process, and one of the more exciting parts, because you've got just a simple concept and then you're bringing it to life. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys. We're going to catch up with the chat real quick, and then we're going to hop right into it. Jack saying it's been okay, a little bit of a stressful week, but that's life, eh? To some degree. I mean, there's always going to be stress in life. There's always going to be challenges, but I think just how you approach them, just kind of having a positive mindset. I mean, rather than thinking kind of lowly, like, oh, you know, just that's just what life is. It's going to be hurtful. Just being like, oh, it's been a little tough, but, there'll be good times too. Just kind of looking forward to those times and knowing that you'll get through the stressful times as you can. And also just striving for balance. I think balance is kind of an interesting word because I think most people, when they think balance, they think it's a passive thing. Like you find balance and then you set it and forget it and you're good to go. But actually, balance is more of an active thing. It's more so when life is kind of leaning too heavily one way, you might need to balance that out by addressing other areas of your life. So if you're feeling a bit stressed, maybe you just try to find some ways to counteract that, find some things to eliminate or minimize some of that stress. So hopefully the stream can help with that. Hopefully just hanging out, having some good conversation, and sharing some music with you, hopefully that can venture into doing that. So if anyone else just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And by all means, if you ever have any questions throughout the segment of this stream, feel free to ask them. I'm going to post one more little link real quick. Again, if you do enjoy my music and you'd like to help me in making more of it, you can certainly show support. There's a link there and a few different options on how to support me in doing that. All right. But Jack, if you've seen any good movies or anything lately, let me know. Here we go. So you can see I've got my project open here. This is Logic Pro. It's the old version of Logic Pro. A lot of times when I show this, people are like, man, that looks dated. It's like, that's because it is dated. But you know what? It works. It doesn't affect the sound. The sound still sounds good. It just looks a little different. No one sees this when you release the song. They only see it because I show it when I'm songwriting. Let me grab my guitar. And Jack, you'll have to let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. When I'm further away from the mic, obviously I'm going to be a little bit quieter, but hopefully you can still hear me okay. So I've got this guitar idea, and I really like this idea. And so I do have intentions of turning this into a full song at some point, but there's a process. You don't just have an idea and just turn out a song right away. Writing songs, it's more like discovering than making it. It's not like, oh, I'm going to make this a song. There's a lot of experimentation and there's a lot of trial and error, just sort of exploring something and seeing what happens. So it's really more like you discover the song than you truly create it. And the thing that kind of sells a song for me, like when I'm coming up with ideas, I come up with a lot of ideas. And usually if it's something kind of interesting, like I'll record it just so I can remember it. But the thing that takes an idea just from being sort of an interesting thing to play with and something that I actually want to follow through and turn into a song, it's usually the melody. So I came up with this guitar picking part. I'll go ahead and play it for you. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm playing that a little sloppily. Again, I'm just writing this, so it's not like I've practiced and got it down. Hey, Silas, good to see you, man. Can hear you just fine. That's good to know. All right. So, yeah, if I play that, when I first wrote that, it just had this kind of, this kind of sad, isolated feel. Like there was something kind of atmospheric about it, just from the notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So that was already like intriguing to me, but that wasn't, there wasn't anything there that I was like, I gotta make this a song, it wasn't quite that. And then the more I played with it, I kind of felt like it could start soft and then build up into something a bit more like emotional and intense. And so I came up with this. So something about that rhythm just felt really good, felt really powerful. And of course, I'm intending to do it with distortion, so it'll probably sound a little more like... So already, if you know me, you know I kind of like sad, pretty sounds. And what I like about rock and metal and that genre of music is how it can kind of amplify the emotions. So, when you play it softer, like these are very pretty chords. And they're kind of sad sounding, and there's sort of a sense of desperation. And I like that in those chords. And then when you add that distortion, it just kind of amplifies that desperation and that emotion. It's just a much more, to me, it's a more expressive sense of that feeling, whatever it is, rather than just kind of being sort of sad and kind of drony or stagnant. Has a sense of determination and just kind of letting loose a little bit. So that made it more intriguing. I still like that, but again, the thing that really sells me is the melody. And I don't have words yet, but sometimes I'll play something like that and I'll just loop it, and I'll kind of just start singing around and looking for notes. And I came up with this melody, and once I heard it, I was like, okay, I really like this idea. So the melody, I'll do it with the crunch tone for now, but the melody goes, and you feel the And so when I heard that, something about that melody with it, I was like, okay, I really like this idea. I want to go through with this one. So I kind of organized my songs, and this is one that I've got. Not planning to release this song this year. I mean, unless something happens and it comes along quicker than some of the other songs I'm working on. But for the most part, this song is not planned to be released this year. But I thought it would be fun to kind of play around with it and start writing it. Courtesy reminder, make sure you guys stay hydrated. All right. So that's the initial idea. So that's what we're going to do. We've got my project here, and what we want to do and what I want to do, what I want to kind of show you guys, when I play that, I can sort of imagine what it can be. I can kind of hear all the other elements that I want to express. When I'm playing it for you, I don't know if your emotion, or your imagination kind of triggers and you're like, oh, I can hear the potential in that. If you're just like, oh, that's kind of neat, and it's not till I show you the other elements that you can kind of hear. People's sort of ear for music sort of works differently. I guess just people have kind of, their minds are wired differently. So there's some people that can hear just a simple thought or a simple phrase, and it can trigger like a whole trail of possibility for them. And then there's some people you can give them a prompt and they're like, I got nothing, so me, you can give me just a single prompt and I can just go to town with it. So that's what we're going to do today. What we're going to start with, we're going to do a rough recording of that guitar part, So we're going to start with that little clean bit, and I'm just going to play along with the click here, and we're just going to get that recorded. Again, it's going to be rough because I don't have a drum set to play along with. I don't have any other instruments, so I'll probably end up re-recording it. But let's just get it in place first. Just start with what you know and work from there. So here we go. There is a click, it's just super quiet. Okay. So I'm going to need some kind of timing, so we're going to pull out our handy-dandy drum set. So I'll get it where you guys can see it. I'm not going to program a full-on drum beat just yet. There we go, you guys can see it. So this is the drum machine, or the drum program that I use for programming drum beats. We're just going to keep a simple hi-hat beat for now because we just need something to keep the time. So I like to kind of do like an open hi-hat on the one and then a closed hat for the other counts. Do every downbeat. There we go. So it should be yeah, that should be fine. Just yeah, so. And so I should be able to play along with that fine. And for now, I think the tempo is pretty good. It's at 120 BPM, and I think that will work for this song. Whoops, that's not where I meant to drag that. I think that'll work for this song, but I might go a little faster. I'm not totally sure yet. I keep dragging in the wrong spot. There we go. That's where we want it. And I'm going to do a little... Sorry, I'm just getting this set up so I've got something properly to record with. And I'm going to get this out of our face so we can all see again. There we go. And I'm just going to click and drag this. This makes it a loop. And so it's just going to loop that hi-hat, that and give me something to play along with. Okay. Here we go. Let's get that guitar part recorded. I knew something was wrong. Sometimes the drum machine, if you leave it on, it'll keep playing the loop that you designed, and we don't want that. Okay, take 3. It's like third try. Here we go. We'll get it this time. Okay, so we're going to start with that. And then right there, we're going to switch to, whoops, not what I meant to do. We're going to switch to our distorted tone. And I'm going to play the other part of the song. There we go. All right, and that's where we're going to end for now. So that's our guitar track. And now that we've got that in place, we're just going to get some other instruments in there and start crafting the song. Let me make sure that that transition's smooth from the crunch part to the full-on distortion. All right, should be fine. So now we're going to get some proper drums programmed in there. And for anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. Again, we're just kind of just sharing with you guys my process. Sounds really good. Well, thank you, Jack. Glad you are digging it so far. It's going to get even better as we add more parts to it. So if anyone ever has any questions or anything, feel free to do that. And you're certainly welcome to chat amongst each other as I'm providing commentary for all of this. But let us continue. So now we want to get a drum beat in there. I'm actually going to start at the distorted part. I wanted you to hear like what happens first, and I do imagine like a very kind of almost drony sort of kind of thing during that picking bit. But let's get to this heavy part first. I think we're going to start there, and yeah, let's get kind of a main beat in this section here. All right, so again, I'm going to pull out our drum kit here. I'll get it where you guys can see it. Here we go. So we want that. We'll start with some crashes. I'm going to point this over a little bit. Okay. Some crashes, and I think we're going to... We'll try open hat, but I might do like even more crashes or splashes or something like that. But let's just get like a basic beat in here. So I know that first part, dun 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 dun, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want that snare. So okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, pop, boom, boom, pop, pop. We want 2 kicks after that, because I'm going to do that palm mute, that dun dun. So yeah. I think we could do like a couple snare hits there. Yeah, let's see here. And kind of what my instinct's telling me, like I want to do like a... Grab this one. I think I want to try a bunch of cymbals at the beginning, like a... And you know what? Maybe hi-hat's not even right. Maybe it should go... Maybe we should try the splash here. Let's see what this sounds like real quick. I just want it to be very, like, energetic and powerful, so... Trying to think. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe if we get rid of that one there. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Da, ba. So I'm kind of air drumming here. I'm trying to imagine like what it could be. Let's give that a shot for now. Let's kind of play with that beat and see how that fits. And again, you just got to start somewhere, but it's very common to just go back and forth. You kind of start with something and then you go back and forth and you make little tweaks till it all fits really nicely and every part is complementing itself. Awesome. Thank you, Silas. All right, let's see here. So we can go ahead and listen to that. All right, cool. Yep, that's working. And then I think we might do the same thing. That'd be kind of cool. Pop diddly boom boom. So. I gotta tweak that because there's actually not enough. Like I couldn't fit that quicker beat in there. There's a way to do it, but I'm just doing it the lazy way. All right, so like what we're looking at now, all these little squares, these little blocks down here, that's our beat that we just dialed in. And then right here, we want to fit one more beat in between. These two are kicks, this one and this one. And we actually want to fit a third kick in between those. So like right there, or something like that. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right. And we're just going to copy and paste that. Let's see how that's coming out. I think I still want a cymbal in there. Do like a little splash right there. So. And then on this one, it might be nice to have like a big fill. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it can lead right back in. So, that's drummer talk. That's how drummers talk. So, Logan's not here, but some of you know Logan. He's actually a drum student of mine, and so we're always talking about beats. I'm like, can you do more like a boom pop doom pop doom pop? It's like that's how drummers talk. So that's how we communicate, and we understand. We're like, oh, I know what you mean, man. Let's see here. I think it's just a pretty simple fill. I'm trying to think how long I want. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Yeah, I think that's all there is to it. It could use a little bit of a velocity shift. So what that means, in fact, you guys probably can't see me even dialing in the beat. Sorry about that. So part of making the drums sound more realistic and a little less robotic is the velocity. Velocity is like how hard or how soft you're hitting stuff. So again, if you look here at the bottom, see, I'm trying to, I don't know if it'll let me scroll over more where you guys can see the section I'm working on, but you'll hear it. I can actually kind of control like how soft or how hard the hits are. So we're going to make some of these tom hits a little bit softer. Maybe about there. And let's get some of the snare. Like, let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, a little better. It's not like blasting you, you know, like just super even. It kind of has a little more flow to it, like it kind of grows and then descends. Now, when I'm writing, I don't stress too much about that. Those are the details that you dial in later. Right now, during the creative process, you just want to get the idea out. It's sort of like we're making just a first draft here. By the way, speaking of first draft, let's go ahead and save. Boom. If y'all remember last time we did something like this, my program crashed and everything that I wrote was gone. Now I have that stream, so I can still go back and watch the stream and just rewrite what it was. But hey, we got Rebel in the chat. Hey, thanks for sharing, Rebel. You are the best. I hope you are doing well. Let me know how your week has been. Let's see here. Yeah, just kept catching up with the chat real quick. Looks like Jack watched Twisters and Trap recently. I I don't think I heard of Trap, but I heard of Twisters, and I heard it was pretty solid. You'll have to let me know what you thought of it, but I thought it was a fun film, or I heard it was a fun film. I know I really liked the first Twister movie. You know, Twister was really good. So, but it sounds like the second one was actually a fun movie, not just like a kind of throwaway attempt at a sequel. That was great what you were doing. Well, thank you. Yeah, Rebel. Okay. Yeah, if you're still here, Rebel. I'm just doing some songwriting. This is a song idea. I'll get you up to speed. And yeah, sounds like your week was great. Just work. Let me show you what we got going on here. So I've got this guitar part. I'll go ahead and play it for you. But this is all I have. You know, it's just a rough idea. So it's this clean guitar part that starts 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going to get heavy when it kicks into the chorus. All right, and then so that's like the idea, and I've also got a melody. I haven't recorded it yet. Let me see if this works. I actually tried programming it on this piano here. Some of you know, usually for melodies, I like to use the piano to write out the melody part, but I was actually doing this while the stream was, like, while the countdown was happening, so I couldn't hear. Let me see, like I had to guess the notes, but I couldn't actually hear them, so let's see if this worked. Nope. I got the right notes, but just not the right timing. I'll just sing it. We'll dial that in later. I don't know if I'm going to stress too much about that because it's kind of tedious and kind of boring. It's not like the exciting part to watch me dial in the notes of the melody, but I can sing it. So the melody's going to go. So that's all I got, and I was kind of sharing how it's usually a melody. When I come up with a melody and I really like the way it blends in with the music, that's what kind of sells me on an idea that, okay, I want to follow through and I want to make this a song. So this will be a song that I release at some point in the future. It's probably not going to come out this year, but you guys can kind of get a sneak peek at sort of the early workings of it. But again, I've got no idea what the songs are going to be called, no title, no lyrics. I have like temporary lyrics, because sometimes it's easier to sing actual words than just saying la-di-da. But the words, you know, they're a little incoherent. They don't really make sense. They're not really, there's not like a clear message there. There's almost an unintentional message there just because from the random words that I'm singing. But obviously, I'll probably go back and refine them. So from the guitar part, I like to get the drums figured out. That's when it really starts to feel like, okay, now this is starting to sound more and more like a song, and then we just kind of let the two parts shape each other, and then we'll get the bass, and hoping to record like some actual vocals for this too. Sounds good. Awesome. Glad you are enjoying it. Awesome stuff there. Trap is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I'll be curious what you thought of it. I maybe have seen that because M. Night, he can be kind of hit and miss. He can make like some of the greatest suspense thrillers, and then he can make some pretty kind of cringy stuff, you know. So we'll see. Rebel says like that. Awesome. Glad you're digging it. Sorry, let me catch up just a little bit with some of what I missed. All right. Silas was saying just about an hour ago, I posted a video from me and my drummer's band practice on Saturday. Awesome. Well, I'll be sure to check that out. And you're amazing live. Thank you so much, Rebel. Much appreciated. Always appreciate you sharing and the kind words that you extend to me. It means a lot. I'm in awe of how much work you put in, Quincy. Well, that's the funny thing. Like, I appreciate that, but it's, yeah, he's great live, hard work, pays off. Hey, thank you. That means a lot. But it's funny because this is my favorite part of songwriting. Like, I love this kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also work that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy exploring and kind of discovering and see what the possibilities are. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Let's keep going so I can kind of show you what I'm envisioning here. Here's what the drums sound like. So far, here's what we've got with the drums. I'm digging that. That's cool. We're just going to copy and paste that. I think it can probably do the same thing again. But then that last one I want to change. Probably do... Yeah, I think we're just going to do, something kind of similar to the second fill. And then we'll probably just end on a crash. And then, yeah, let me get... And then we'll just end on a crash, just a good old kick and crash to kind of end it. Trying to do this quickly. Oops, let me get my pencil tool. There's different tools for whether you're adjusting the velocity or writing in notes or whatever you're doing. There we go. Cool. And then if we have time, I actually have this idea. Like what I want it to do from there, I want it to go... like this little fill. Boom, pop, doodle, pop, doodle, doom. And then back into this part. Boom, pop, boom, pop, doodle, boom. The funny thing, as I'm kind of doing that now, I don't know for sure, but it could be cool to do like a lo-fi beat, like rather than a regular drum kit, like a really like... So again, that's the fun part of writing the song, because you start coming up with these ideas like, hey, that could be like a cool effect, make it like really ambient and atmospheric, and then it kind of, it's a little more distant, and then when the chorus kicks in, like it just kind of gets right in your face, Kicking into the chorus, I think we are just going to do a good old build-up on the snare and the floor tom. So let me get that programmed real quick. Usually, again, the best thing to do is just start with what you know. We're going to focus on the chorus for now, and then if we have time, we'll play with that verse bit as well. But in general, when you're writing songs, what I've been learning lately is it's really best just to get your chorus figured out. Like, rather than writing the whole song, you want to get the music figured out for the chorus, get the vocals figured out, and even write the lyrics first. And once you've got the lyrics written for the chorus, that's like your overview of what the song's actually about. And if you've got that figured out, then it makes it so much easier to figure out what to do for the rest of the song. So... the chorus is usually the main part to kind of focus on. It's kind of fun because you get more immediate satisfaction because you think of it as like a little mini song. You're not working on the whole song. It's just like a little 30-second section or something. So it's a very short song is kind of how I think of working on courses. And so once you get it done, it's not quite as intimidating as the whole song. So there's more instant, feedback or more instant satisfaction from getting it completed. And then that actually assists you in working on the rest of the song. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me make sure. Can you guys? Yeah, so going to just make a little build up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, so we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want this floor tom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll get this dragged in. So this is just kind of a, you know, little build up before it kicks into the chorus. This is happening right where those distorted guitars kick in. So if I play it, it sounds like this. All right, we're off to a good start. Let's save and let's get some bass in there. Again, I'll probably go back and re-record the guitars. So, hey, we got a few people. Hey, Fab, good to see you. Happy summertime. Is it officially summer now? It's definitely feeling like it. Today was kind of humid, kind of hot and humid. Becky, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm feeling under the weather tonight. I just wanted to check everyone knows about the Lacey Sturm and Ben Burnley Unplugged tour. I actually didn't hear about that, so thanks for letting me know. I'm going to take note of that. I wonder, I mean, if they're touring, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out and see if they're coming to my area. That's really cool. Ben Burnley and Lacey Sturm Unplugged tour. That sounds cool. I hope they're going to be somewhere near. Are they coming your way? Are they coming overseas, or is it just in the United States? Not sure how big they're going with it. Unplugged tour. So I'll look into that. So yeah, thanks for letting me know. Sorry you're feeling under the weather. I'll definitely be praying you feel better soon, and I hope you got maybe something nice to sip on. I know it's pretty late where you're at, so definitely I always appreciate you tuning in, Becky. But you know, if you need rest, definitely get yourself some rest. Don't feel like you have to stay up to watch the stream. But if you're planning on kind of staying up anyway, I hope we can, you know, kind of get your mind off of feeling under the weather and help you feel a little bit better. They will be in Richmond. Hey, that's pretty close. Awesome. Man, you're taking care of me. Just let me know. They're going to be in Richmond. When is that? July 15th. That might be manageable. So I'm going to take note of that. Richmond, July 15th. Thanks for looking out for me, because, yeah, that's a show I would definitely like to see. Ben doesn't travel by plane, so I'll never get to see them. Oh, that's too bad. That just means you got to travel by plane. That just means you got to get yourself a ticket and fly here to the United States or something and see them. So we'll see if we can make that work out someday. You know, maybe someday if I'm ever playing shows and stuff, I can get you flown out, and maybe I can open up for Breaking Benjamin or something, and you know, get all of you guys VIP passes and that kind of thing. You know. Let's see here. Cool. So let me get you up to speed real quick on what's happening. This is a song I'm working on. It is very much in the early stages. It's really just a guitar idea. So I'll show you what we've got so far. And I'll kind of sing it. It's just a guitar idea, and we're bringing it to life. It's probably not a song. Like, I don't even have a title for it. Don't have lyrics for it yet. All I've got is a guitar part and a melody for the chorus. I don't even have a melody for the verse yet. But I really like the idea, so I know I'm going to turn this into a song eventually, but it's probably going to be a song that comes out next year or something. But here we go. I'll kind of demonstrate it for you. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So kind of soft and ambient, and then it's going to kick in like heavy, and the melody goes like this. La da da na na, la da da na na, la da da na na, la da na, la da na, la da da na na, la da 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 da, la da da. And so we're just taking that idea and we're crafting it. We're taking it from idea to first draft. So I've gone ahead and programmed some drums for the chorus. So that sounds like this. now we're going to get some bass in there. Let's get working on that. All right, bass is nice because it kind of stitches the drums and the guitar together. So let's see here. Dum 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 dum. Okay. So I'm just kind of thinking out the notes that it's going to be playing. So again, you guys, if you're looking, you can see this kind of grid. You can see the little piano keys right there, and next to it is this grid. And I can put in these little squares. Those are the notes that are going to be playing the bass notes. But right now they're too high, so let me take these down a little bit lower. All right, there we go. That's where we want our bass. Bum, 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 bum. So one. Oops. See if that's. I think we're going to go up an octave. And I think I had the drums do dum dum kick kick, so we'll do 2 more hits. Usually like to get that bass in sync with the kick drum. I don't always go up an octave, but sometimes going up an octave on snare hits sounds good, so. And I want to try something. Dum. Maybe like walking down. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see if that sounds cool. I kind of like that. Yeah. Do, 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 dum. And let that last note ring out. And then I think we're going to do, yeah, on this bop, 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 we're going to do like a boom, boom, boom sort of walk up thing. And I think that's on this note. Oh, not that one. Down one. That note right there. Da da dum. Little. There we go. And then. I think that's the right note. Sometimes when it's low, it's kind of hard to tell. So. All right, that sounded good. All right, we're going to copy and paste that, and then we just got to tweak a few notes for this next bit. Whoops. And I think we just got to move these up a little bit. And we might go, might go down. So I'm actually walking on those same notes, but first I went up, do-do-dum. Now I'm going to try going do-do-dum. Let's see if that sounds cool. You hear that again. Right now, again, this is kind of the rough stages, so not everything's like super clear. I'm going to mute that guitar so we can listen a little better. Kind of cool. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Let me hear what this sounds like. I might still like it going up. Not sure. Sometimes it's hard to decide. I mean, it's kind of cool. I like the do-do-dum, do-do-dum. Do-do-dum, do-do-dum, but I don't know. think I still like it going up. And to be honest, that might be it for the bass. We might just have to copy and paste all that. And then just end with just a single note. Where's it at? Whoops. Okay. That'll work for now. All right, let's have a listen to that. Jack was saying, for a minute you were giving me Seinfeld vibes with that bass. That's funny. Yeah, I don't remember Seinfeld being this intense, but probably when you hear just the bass and you hear those like boom, 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 yeah, it probably does kind of have like those bass runs that they do for the Seinfeld sitcom. That's pretty funny. All right, cool. So it's coming along. Fab was saying can't stay long, but hit the like, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should, or your mother will be disappointed in you. So there's that. Well, thanks for the support, Fab, and for encouraging others that they should like and subscribe. Much appreciated about that. And it looks like there was some funny conversation going on here. Glad you guys are enjoying that. Yeah, cool. Never watched that show. I'm more of a Frasier lady. I haven't watched either. I've seen a bit of Frasier, and I've seen like glimpses of Seinfeld. I've seen enough to be like familiar with, like, I know the boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, you know, the like transition bass. Like, I'm familiar with that, but I haven't watched either show like regularly, but I'm familiar with both. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Rebel. Much appreciated. All right, I want to get one more little bass part in here, and then I think we're going to re-record our guitars. The nice thing, too, is like right now the guitar is just going through the tracking channel. Like, it's a very rough guitar, but what I'm going to do, some of you have seen me do this before. Some of you have seen me do this before. I'm going to record the same guitar part twice, and then I'm going to pan one left and one right, and I'm going to drag it down to these tracks here that have a few more plugins to give it a more finished sound. So it's going to sound a lot tighter, a lot chunkier, a lot better. So I want to do one more thing with the bass first, though. Right here, just want that bum 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 on that build up. There we go. And let me figure out what note that's on. I think it's looks to be an F. And that note right there. Whoops, hit the wrong thing. Come back over here. Right here. Whoa. We don't want a long note, though. We just want a short one. There we go. And right here. There we go. So... I do like, you know, it sounds pretty vicious, and I like that, so I like that. All right, cool. We're going to re-record those guitars. We're going to try to get them a little tighter, so we're going to delete that one. I'm going to get this out of the way, and, yeah, we're going to track some guitars. Let me grab my guitar. Okay. So I'm going to be a little further away from the mic, so you might not be able to hear me quite as clearly, but hopefully I'm still coming through all right. right, here we go. Okay, I took a chance, but I was like, wait, there's no count, you know, like I can't hear, so gonna need some hi-hats. Gonna need something to give me like a tempo so I can come in at the right time. I took a chance. I was like, maybe I can do it, but no. Yeah, I need a heads up. There we go. So now it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There we go. Take 2. Oh boy, I hope I'm in tune okay, because if I'm not, that's going to be an issue. I accidentally left my tuner at home. All right, hopefully it's close enough. I can tell it's not perfect, and that bugs me, but I might have to just roll with it for now. That might be good. Okay, here we go. That's one. We're going to do one more. Okay. Yeah, okay. Should be fine. I'm just kind of trimming it up a little bit. Okay, let's get one more of those. Alrighty then. Let's get that over here. So now, again, you know, if you're listening through a phone or just your laptop speakers, I don't know how drastic, I mean, well, there should be some difference, but especially if you're listening through some kind of stereo speaker, either headphones or something that's got a left and right, then you'll definitely notice it's going to sound wider and tighter. right, so it's coming along. Let's go ahead and save that. And I think we're going to try to record like some temporary vocals. I thought that'd be fun to do because I haven't done temp vocals before. So actually going to do a little bit of singing for this. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Again, you guys are having some good little conversation in here, appreciating the emojis and the stars and stuff. Becky saying, forgot to switch to live chat. Hey, if it makes you feel better, I didn't even realize live chat. Like, I've been doing these streams for a while now, and I didn't realize live chat was a thing. So that's like a new, like I'm having to set it to live chat to remember. Let's see here, number one. Oh, it's Jack's sister's birthday today. Well, happy birthday to your sister. I don't know, do y'all have any plans to celebrate or anything? I hope, I think we're getting together tomorrow. Awesome. I hope y'all have a good time doing that. Let's see here. It was my brother's birthday just a couple days ago. I think he and his family just kind of did, like, you know, he's married, he's got kids, and so I think they did a little something. But we might do something. We might have lunch together as a whole family or something. Let's see. Yep, just catching up with the chat. Sounds rockin' amazing. Thank you. Jack says, I only have a right speaker, I think. Sure sounds good, Quincy. Thank you, Silas. Sounds better than my leg slapping following along. Well, hey, at least if you're tapping along, hopefully that means it's kind of got a rhythm that you're enjoying. Yeah, easy to forget. And thank you. Yeah, Rebel saying, so talented, blows me away. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words. All right, we're going to try some vocals. Now, I don't have lyrics yet, but I have temporary lyrics. And again, so it's gonna sound like I'm almost singing about something, and then but it's not really going to make sense, you know. So, and it's just when you're writing, like when you're figuring out a melody, words have a rhythm and they have a cadence to them, meaning like there's some syllables that you put more stress on than others. And so it's easier to just kind of fit words in with a melody than just singing random like la-da-da, that kind of stuff. Using actual words is actually very helpful, even if you're kind of using random words that don't, like you might sing a sentence about one thing and then sing another sentence that kind of contradicts or it doesn't seem related to the previous sentence. So it's definitely not, you know, these are not the official lyrics. I used to take like the temporary lyrics I would come up with, I used to try to turn them into a song, and these days I don't always do that. Sometimes if there's something I like, I'll see if I can make it work. But now I'll usually try to figure out what I want to sing about and what I actually want to say and find the words to do that, you know, rather than just taking what came randomly and trying to make, you know, meaning out of it. So you're going to hear me sing like just some random lyrics, but these are not the official lyrics. Again, I don't have a title for this song, don't know what it's going to be called, don't know what it's going to be about. All I got is just a melody. That's it. So here we go. I'm going to sing. And we'll see how it goes. Again, this is just a demo recording, so check 1, 2. Probably going to turn the gain down a little bit since I'm going to be screaming into this thing a little bit. I say screaming, but, you know, just high singing. And let's see here. This is just a demo recording, so it's not about being perfect. It's just about getting the idea out for this first draft. So, all right, let's see how this goes. Here's your courtesy reminder. Stay hydrated. And you feel the same. All right. As you did before. Let's give this a shot. Yeah, Becky's saying some singers change the pronunciation of words to make them rhyme better. Yeah, some of you might be familiar with It's Gonna Be May. You know, the NSYNC song, It's Gonna Be Me, but pronouncing it May. It's super normal for singers to pronounce me, or any word that has an E sound, to pronounce it with more of an A sound, because it's easier to sing, it's easier to hit higher notes. It's really hard to hit high notes singing E, but singing more of an A sound works better. I do it too. You'll hear songs where I say me, but May, you know, I kind of pronounce it more with like a May sort of sound, like an A kind of sound. It's amazing. Like sometimes it actually helps you sing better, but I'll sing songs like, actually quick little update. Some of you know I'm working on a song called Farewell to Fear. I recorded vocals for that song on Monday, and I also finished the music video. The music video hasn't been edited, but I finished shooting the music video. But that's an example of a song where I had to change the pronunciation. Like some of the lyrics, it's so farewell to fear. Like that's the main. So farewell to fear. But it actually sounds better to sing it so farewell to fair. Like that sounds so weird when you say it. Farewell to fair, but when you sing it, it works. For some reason it works, and it sounds like you can totally tell what I'm saying, but pronouncing that way just helps it come out more clear, helps you hit the note a lot easier without it sounding too stressed or like closed off. So I had to change kind of the pronunciation for quite a bit of the words, because that song, the chorus is like really high, so I had to use like every trick in the book I could to just help me hit those high notes, and a big part of that is just changing the pronunciation. So thank you, Rebel, saying you have some great lyrics. Well, thank you. I'm going to, hopefully, you know, when I do get around to writing lyrics for this one, hopefully I can keep that up and write some good ones. All right, here we go. Here's some, here, take one with some vocals. We'll see how this goes.
And you feel the same as you did before, and you find a way, but just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more, but I find the truth, and somewhere I can let it go.
So mostly good, a little rough on those high notes there. Let's have a listen back.
And you feel the same as you did before, and you find a way, but just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more, but I find the truth, and somewhere I can let it go.
So not bad performance-wise, but I've got a little too much gain. That's why you're hearing that clipping. Like you can hear where like the voice, it's not grit, it's like an electronic distortion.
And you're so...
Hear that really like nasty, you know, like that's annoying. I could still work with that, but I'm going to try one more time. You know what? I'm going to keep this just in case. Let me just put it down here and mute it. I'm going to try one more time with a little less gain, and hopefully it won't clip. All right. Nope.
And you feel the same as you did before, and you find a way, but just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more, and you find a way, somehow we let it go.
All right, so hopefully that one did not clip. We'll have a listen. Nope. You can hear, I was almost coming in too soon, so. Nope.
And you feel the same as you did before, and you find a way, but just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more, and you find a way, somehow we let it go.
All right, so not bad. Like from a performance perspective, obviously I'm kind of struggling on that high note. And here's something I've had to learn as a vocalist is like practice really makes a difference. Like the first time you try singing something, like when you're writing, it's always going to be rough. I never write a song and I sing it and I'm like, yeah, I got this. You know, it's like it takes practice, like learning where to breathe and learning how to best pronounce things. learning the timing and just training your voice to kind of hit those notes and dialing in that muscle memory to find like the right sensation for hitting it. And so like, yeah, it's, you know, for a rough recording, it's going to be a little rough at first. And then over time, once it develops and I get to actually practice the song, I'll be able to perform it a bit better. But thank you, thank you for like the applause and stuff. Is his mouth moving? You do it so naturally. It was probably just the mic, maybe covering my mouth. I mean, I don't know if you can, see me open my mouth from behind the mic. But yep. Hey, we got Leo in the chat. Leo, good to see you. Good to hear from you. It's been a little while, but I hope you've been well. Let me know what is new with you. Anything fun or eventful happened lately? And anyone else just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. We're just doing a little bit of songwriting here. I'll show you what we've got so far, and we'll go from here. Yeah, Becky commenting. We were talking about the pronunciation of words. I thought it was just an accent thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, like, obviously a singer's accent is going to come through, but singers do intentionally change the pronunciation of words. You almost do sing with more of an accent. And that's actually kind of funny because sometimes kind of makes sense because you can have singers from different countries, and when they sing, you wouldn't really like know what their accent is. You wouldn't know that they have an accent because they're probably using similar singing techniques, similar pronunciation techniques for whatever lyrics they're singing and stuff. So it kind of makes them all sound like they might have a similar accent, and then you hear their speaking voice, and it's like, whoa, I didn't, that happens to me all the time where you'll hear somebody, and I wouldn't realize that they're from the UK or something like that. I would think they're an American band, and then I hear the vocalist speaking, and I'm like, oh, he's got like a British accent or an English accent. Let's see here. Cool. All right, let's see here. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Rebel. All right, so here's what we've got so far with our song. We've got a couple guitars. We've got like some temporary vocals just to get a melody. We've got drum beat and bass. So we'll listen to that one more time. And then I think we've kind of got two choices from here. I might play around with some lead guitar, but we could also go to this verse bit here. We'll have a look at that too. So listen one more time, and then we'll play around with that stuff. Nope. I'm gonna cut that out. It's really funny, but yeah, that's me. Like I almost came in early, so that's why I was like, nope. Gonna cut that little bit out right there. All right.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
Okay, so I'm kind of hearing like maybe a guitar melody I could do. So we'll play around with this chorus just a little bit longer. Let me grab the old guitar. Let's see. All right. Leo was saying, my roommate lost his job. He says not to worry about it, but I can't help but worry. Well, hope he finds something soon. Hope it's not going to be too much of an issue for you. I hope he does find something, but I'm going to give just a little shout out real quick. I mean, I don't know how entrepreneurial he is, but he could probably find a good part-time job. But I've mentioned this guy before. There's a guy that I follow online named Graham Cochran, and he's got some great advice about starting online businesses and being able to make set up revenues of passive income and that kind of thing. It's something I've definitely been looking into myself, and I definitely have plans to start implementing that. But yeah, I hope something. But hopefully he's got some savings or something. If you're worried about that, if he's your roommate and you're worried about rent and that kind of thing. But I just say, don't worry, challenges happen in life. There's always issues. Other people have had issues and they've gotten through them, and We all have issues. You're going to have challenges, and you're going to get through just fine. I'll definitely be praying for you, but don't, I'd say don't worry yourself. Something will work out, but definitely rooting for you. I'll be praying for you and hoping that something works out. So I could kind of hear like a... Not really sure what.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way?
Something like that might work. It sounds a little messy right now, but it might just be the guitar tone I'm using. It might have too much distortion.
Can you feel the same as
Playing the wrong spot.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. And you find a way, somehow we let it go.
So not really sure, but sometimes you don't know till you record it. So we'll try recording a little bit of that, and we'll do two and see what they sound like in their proper place. So.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so...
Not going to do the whole thing, just want to kind of sample it. I think that's right. Now let's do one more.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so...
So I'm going to drag that down here. And we're going to clip off that front bit. And clip off this. Okay, and I think I might not actually have any distortion on those lead tones, so I like this amp pretty good. Let's see what this sounds like.
Can you feel the same?
Seems a little quiet. Mute the vocal. Oh, that's tricky. Let me make another track for vocals, I guess. Go. All right, gonna mute the vocals. Let's. Try a different amp. That might be the better one to go with. with that for now. Sometimes it's good. So when you are writing like lead parts, it is helpful to have either the vocals in there, or again, I like to use this piano track and I'll write in the melody, because when there's no melody from the vocals, it's really easy to kind of go overboard with the lead guitar. You can write way too much, and then when you get the main melody in there, the two parts kind of clash. So when you've got the main melody in there already, it's a lot easier to write around it so that you're coming up with something that complements it and doesn't fight it. And even this, it might be just a bit too, maybe too dissonant. It might be kind of clashing a little bit, but I'm not sure. Let's have a listen.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so...
It actually sounds pretty good. I don't know if that's like the one. Like, I don't know if that's the melody, or I'm like, yeah, I'm going with that. You know, I want to settle for that. But that's definitely a good one to keep in mind. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what else we got here. I tell you what, I'll record those one more time, and we'll go through the whole thing. I'm going to kind of play with some stuff. I might settle for those, but I'm going to play around with some other potential ideas.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
It's kind of what I'm leaning. That might be a better spot to do. That's the same thing, but on its own, I kind of like it there. But these are thicker strings. These are thinner strings. They might kind of cut through a little better and work better for the lead part. And I like that, but to be honest, I feel like that's a shape. I kind of do that too much. Might try to find something a little different than that. That's kind of a go-to for me.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
I could maybe do that. I don't know if I want to do octaves, though.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow
something simple like that. Maybe I'm complicating it.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more.
I kind of like that part, like the sort of matching with those hits, but I can't figure out what to do with the rest of it. So we're just going to record what I do know, and maybe I'll play around with that later. So we're going to stick with this for now, though. How was it? Yeah, there we go. Let's give that a shot.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
Okay. And there's like little tweaks that you make as you do this.
Can you feel the
Yeah, I think, what just happened there? Whoops. Okay, I see. It's not what I meant to do. Okay, so like one thing I was noticing, like on the repeat, it was just a little awkward, so you like make little tweaks as you go. So when I repeat it, like that sounded a little weird, so I think it's going to work to just go just back and forth. Okay, I'm going to try that one more time. Yep, I think that's going to work better. Here we go.
Can you feel the same as you did before? Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
And then it kind of ends nicely, like it's not really clashing with anything. And that is the process, just kind of trying things out. Gonna mute those vocals so we can kind of listen to the lead part. One thing I will say, when it comes to writing lead parts, I'm starting to realize it might not be like the best thing to demonstrate on these streams because there's so many possibilities. Like, I'm going to move on to a different section, but this is literally something I could play around with like 10 more combinations or possibilities, you know? And that's kind of part of the process too. It's like, all right, that's one thing. I'll keep that in my back pocket, but what if I did this or tried this, you know, trying different techniques. And sometimes you try a bunch and then you end up coming back to the first one that you did. Or sometimes you try a bunch and then you find one that's like, it's that 10th one, like, yes, that's the perfect part. So this certainly works. I think it sounds cool, but I don't know, you know. So this is one like I might keep in my back pocket, but I would probably play around with a few other ideas. And if there was something else that I liked better, I would go with that. And if not, I've sort of got this to fall back on. But here's what all that sounds like together.
The same as you did before. Can you find a way? You just can't seem to let it go. And you're so ashamed, and you can't take much more. Can you find a way? Somehow we let it go.
So we're basically, you know, that's kind of a rough start for our course, and we're basically going to do the same process for our verse. So again, just to show you all, this is the first guitar I recorded. Here's like the rough recording of the verse guitar part. Stop. Sometimes Logic Pro will overload, so that's what just happened there. But it's actually kind of cool, like sort of that intro, kind of about to kick in.
Can you feel the same?
So yeah, kind of cool. But I think we're going to have a drum beat come in. Jack was saying, well, got to get going now, but great work, Quincy, and thank you all for the stream. It's been a pleasure for you to feel better soon, Quincy, and for things to work out, Leo. Yep. Night, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Jack. Always appreciate you tuning in. Glad you enjoyed the stream, and definitely praying for you. Hoping your week ends nicely. So, awesome stuff. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so we're going to get a drum beat here. And the funny thing is, again, I don't know this for sure, but there's a possibility that the first verse could be kind of spared like that. Like it could just be guitar. Maybe some atmosphere or something. You know, you could kind of do that, and then after the first chorus, you know, when it ends,
Let it go.
Doom. So, you know, you could, that might be something I do. I might have the first verse be a bit more scarce, and then the second one kind of kick in more. And I tell you what I do know the second verse will have a drum beat. So again, something I've learned with anything you're working on, it's so easy. If you're like me, I like to know the whole picture. Like I like to have all the steps figured out, but that's just not really how life works. Usually you just have the next few steps, and then you have to do those first before you figure out the next few steps after that. And so a good saying to remember is just start with what you know. Like anything you're working on, if you're not sure what it's going to be like, how it's going to end up, just start with what you do know. So I could start here, but I'm not sure. You know, I'm thinking like, well, it could be more scarce, like just guitar and maybe just some like light elements, or it could have a drum beat. I'm not sure. But what I do know is I'm pretty sure the second verse is going to have a drum beat. So let's just start with what we know. We'll just write what I'm thinking, and maybe I'll move it. You know, maybe later I'll decide, nope, let's have that happen in the first verse. Again, that's why it's a first draft, and that's why it's more like you discover the song than you really write it, because sometimes you don't really know till you try it out. You just kind of record and test things, and it's all about experimentation and just kind of seeing how it sounds and how it makes you feel. And if pretty much you're just looking for the stuff that makes you go, ooh, I like that, you know, like that's all you're doing. If it doesn't do that to you, it's like try something else, and you keep searching until you find that thing that kind of triggers that sensation for you. So this is going to start, I think, right there. So we're going to dial in a little drum beat for this. And I actually want to try something real quick. So I do imagine this fill that could happen right there. So I'm going to pull up my drum software, and I'll get it where you all can see it. Thank you. Actually, I mean, I'm feeling okay. I mean, I know Jack was wishing me well. I appreciate everyone doing that. I think I'm feeling okay. I don't know if he's hearing it in my voice. Here's what I will say. So I recorded vocals on Monday, and I'll be honest, it was actually a pretty intense. It was very good. It was actually a really good vocal session, but it was intense because I got most of it done, and then I was like, I really don't want to have to come back and do another day. I just want to get it all done today. So I continued recording vocals. And so at the end, I kind of did like the harsh vocals, the screams and stuff. And that's where, you know, it was just a little wearing on my voice. And basically all that means is your voice just needs a few days to recover, and you kind of have to ease back into singing. And so maybe the little bit of singing I've done now, I don't know if he's hearing like a little bit of rasp in my voice or something. But I'm definitely not dealing with sickness anymore. Again, I was well enough to record vocals. So, yeah. So I do appreciate, you know, the thoughts, you know, from Jack. But yeah, I was actually a little confused. I was like, I'm feeling okay. I'm not sure. You know, I assumed maybe he just heard my voice and thought I was still dealing with some sickness, but I'm doing all right. But I definitely appreciate the thought. And thank you. Yep, you're a great musician. I appreciate that, Rebel. We're going to get some drums dialed in here. And I'll say we're going to mess with this maybe a few more minutes, and then we might be putting a wrap on this soon. But I hope you guys have found this interesting. This is kind of what the process looks like. You know, it just starts with a single idea, and we're kind of repeating it. So if you weren't here at the very beginning, same thing. I've got that little guitar part. Da-na-na-na. And now we're just going to come up with a drum beat to play underneath of that. I kind of like to start with the guitar and then go to the drums, get those two working together, and then I'll come up with a bass part that sort of stitches them together. So I want to do this little fill that I imagine. So it's going to go 2, 3, 4. Doom, pop, boom, bum, ba boom. And so I think that's going to be a high tom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, boom, pop, ba-doom, pop, ba-da-boom. So that's drummer talk for you. For those of you who don't speak drummer, you know, going boom, pop, ba-da-boom. That's, you know, that's how drummers communicate. Let's see here. I think it's going to be here. Boom, pop. And I think, see if that's right. Nope. Doom pop, ba-doom pop. That's closer. I think we're going to go. I think that's right. All right, so that's the right idea. There's one more beat I got to fit in there, but I got to drag it into the timeline first. So get rid of this. Okay. Program's being a little laggy on me. Probably a good time to save. Okay, and then let me get this out of the way. Okay. And I'm going to double click on this. Again, you'll see all these little squares down here. There's our beat that we just put in. And I'm going to put a kick in between these two. Go. Whoop. About there. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, kind of like that type of thing. Oh, whoops. Man, I did that last time. Yeah, if you keep the machine on, it'll keep playing the beat. Cool. And then kick into a new beat there. So let's get that up and running. Get it where you guys can see it. There we go. And I think it's going to be a pretty simple beat, just like a. So we're going to have that hi-hat in there. Going to put that on every downbeat. And let me get the snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just something kind of simple like that. I might tweak the kick pattern and the snares depending on what I want to do with the bass. So that's kind of, again, there's a lot of a back and forth process when you do this. It's kind of, you just start with what you know, and then when you hear the parts together, it inspires new parts, like, oh, it'd be cool if the drums did this, or this would work better with the guitars, or, you know, you don't know yet until you get the bass, and then the bass, it's like, oh, well, this would sound good on bass, so let me change the drums to make that work better. And it's a lot of kind of just back and forth. We're just going to start kind of simple. Not what I wanted. And I think the verse is going to be longer. Right now we're going to do like a short version just to play with it, but I think I'm probably going to double it up. But we'll get that little build-up in there. So right there, boom, boom. This is going to be the same build-up we did last time going into the chorus. Right there. Okay, so let's hear how that sounds with our guitar. Okay, cool. And I think I want that to go twice. So let's go ahead and just drag it out. But That's sounding pretty cool. It's got like a nice, kind of gives me a little bit of a Silent Hill vibe. Are any of you familiar with the soundtrack for Silent Hill? Just really cool. Like even though it's a, even though it's a survival horror video game, the music is very like calming and atmospheric and stuff. So it kind of gives me that vibe a little bit. I think we're going to change that one because we're not going to build up just yet. We'll just kind of keep it a little loopy right now. We'll just do that second one. And I think I might just go ahead and re-record that guitar part. Becky says, love Silent Hill. That's cool. You know what stinks is, like, I wish they would make a proper remake because it's really hard to get a copy of the original games. I actually, like, I really wanted to play Silent Hill 2. They did make a remake of Silent Hill 2, you know. I don't know if it's for PS4. Let me look that up real quick. I just remembered they did make a remake. So what happened was, before the remake came out, Silent Hill 2 is known to be like a classic game. One second. What? I'm just going to put, is the Silent Hill 2 remake for PS4? Or is it only for PS4? No, that's why I don't have it. No, the Silent Hill 2 remake is not available on PS4. It is an exclusive release for PS5. So that's why I don't have the remake. That stinks. So before the remake came out, yeah, it's known as a great game, like a classic game. And there's people who actually make, I don't know what you call them, but there's a name for it, but it's almost like a pirated version of games, but for PS2. If you try to buy an original copy of Silent Hill 2 for the PS2, it's like hundreds of dollars. So it's like, I'm not going to spend that for the game. But there are people, there's ways you can somehow like burn it over to another disc, but then you need like a compatible memory card to read it or something. And so I ended up doing that, and it worked. And I enjoyed it while it worked, but it gets kind of buggy. And so that's the only problem going that route, is like sometimes the game will freeze on you, and it just doesn't work smoothly. So that was my best attempt at getting to experience that game. And I think I ended up just watching someone's playthrough, but I never got to play it for myself. I really like the Resident Evil games. I've played those. Just finished playing the remake of Resident Evil 2. But Silent Hill, haven't really gotten to experience the games for myself, but I listen to the music all the time. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Just look up Silent Hill soundtrack. But the composer is, I'm trying to remember how to spell his last name, Akira Yamaoka, I think? Yamaoka? I can't remember if it's Ki or Ka at the end. I might be spelling his name wrong. I'm pretty sure it's, I can just look it up real quick. Akira, it's Yamaoka. Yeah, so it was an A at the end. Akira Yamaoka. There we go. Yeah, that's some cool music to check out. So, cool. Let's see here. Leo was saying, I only know the song Angels Thanatos from Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 has a great soundtrack, so check out the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack, check out the Silent Hill 3 soundtrack, and there's even other great songs from the series. Not all of the games have been great from what I've heard. I've heard like 2 and 3 are the best, and then there might be one other that was pretty good. But just about all of them have really great music, so awesome. And yeah, Becky was saying, feeling a little unwell. Tonsils are swollen, so it hurts to swallow. Yeah, that's rough. That's hard. Well, I hope you feel better soon. I don't know if like get you some nice warm soup or some tea or something. Maybe that might help loosen things up a little bit. All right. We're about gonna wrap things up here. So I think we're gonna get a little bit of bass on this. Well, I'm gonna record the guitars, get a little bit of bass, and then we'll wrap things up. So let me grab my guitar. we're just going to go for it. If I could play it right. That's the only problem with writing songs too, is you don't know how to play them yet. Just because you wrote it doesn't mean you've mastered it yet. You still have to learn your own songs. So, and I guess I haven't technically written it yet. It's in the process of being written. Well, I wrote this part, you know, so I just don't have it down yet. Okay, we're going to cut there. Now, I played pretty good. You might notice I made a little mistake somewhere near the end. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. Right there, I messed up. So what you can do, I'm just going to cut that little section out. And we're going to find a section that I did play good. We're just going to copy and paste that. And voila, now it's fixed. And I'm just going to listen to that, make sure it transitions. Sometimes when you cut and copy and paste, it doesn't always transition smoothly. Not bad. Certainly good enough for a demo, you know. Let's cut here. Sorry, just getting it trimmed up. Oh, that wasn't even the right spot. We're trying to get this down on the guitar tracks. Oops. There we go, yeah. All right, there's one guitar. Okay, cool. Let's get one more. And actually, you know, yeah, let's get one more. If I could play it. So I'm going to do the shortcut way. You'll notice I didn't play the full thing, but I'm just going to use that copy and paste method that I used from before. Kind of a nice little time saver. If ever you play something a bit redundant like that, you don't necessarily have to play the whole thing. You can just copy and paste it. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Here's the fourth one. Let's just copy that. Whoops, wrong spot. So we want to paste that right here. And then we do need this one. that. Sorry, a little bit of some fancy editing. All right, let's see if that works. Actually, let me do this. Can cut right here because that's where it's going to kick into the chorus. All right, let's see how that is sounding. I'm digging that, and to be honest, it's actually kind of cool without the bass. Like, you could almost do the first half without the bass and then have it come in the second half or something. So we'll get some bass in there, and then I think we're going to put a wrap on this. Speaking of bass, Silas asked a question. If you ever buy your own bass, what would you buy? I would like to get a Dingwall bass. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand, but they sound great. That's the bass that Nolly Get Good uses, and I love his bass sound, so Dingwall is the brand. I don't know if I have an exact model. I can actually tell you. Right now, I don't have a need for a bass. In fact, if I bought anything, it'd probably be, I might buy a programmed bass before I bought like a physical bass, but if and when the time comes that I do buy my own, you know, have my own designated studio or a designated space for a studio, and I need some gear and equipment for it. That's the kind of bass I want. I'm trying to see. I actually have a note somewhere that writes all this stuff down. I'll see if there's an exact model. Nope, no specific model, just a Dingwall. That's the brand. So not sure which model I would get, but that's the brand that I'd like. And yeah, there's some pretty affordable. Now those are pretty expensive. I do have a list of some basses that are a bit more affordable. Like there's the Yamaha SR300E. I think I've played one of those, and they sound great. The Ibanez SR400. SR300E. Sorry, I was getting Yamaha and Ibanez mixed up. There's a couple Ibanez basses that are pretty good. The SR300 and the SR400 are both some pretty good ones. The Yamaha TRBX 304, that's a good one. Schecter's got a nice one, the Stiletto Extreme 4T, and then even the Squier Vintage Modified Precision Bass PJ. Really long name, but those were some pretty highly recommended affordable basses. Those all range from about the $250 to $500 range. So those are some that I like. But Dingwalls, those are kind of like $1,000 or a couple thousand. I can't remember the price, but they're definitely more on the high end. And let's see, eventful or fun, Silas. The most eventful thing to happen to me today was nearly choking on a mouthful of ramen. Well, the ramen part sounds good. I could go for a bowl of ramen right now. But yeah, choking part, not so fun. Are you out of school for summer? Yeah, are you having summer now? Yeah, I like ramen too. You're making me hungry just bringing that up. Yep, Silas is in summer. That's got to be nice. You've got a Jackson bass. Jackson probably makes some good basses, I would imagine. So yeah, Silas, I hope you're having a good summer. Definitely enjoy it. If you've got any plans for summer, let me know. I think Becky was asking about that as well. What was I going to say? Eventful. Most eventful things for me, again, I did record vocals for Farewell to Fear. I still have to edit them, and I have to get them in the mix and get them working, but I was really glad to get that done this week. And I finished shooting the music video, so I've got a music video for it. Now, even though I finished shooting it, it's still going to be a few weeks before it comes out. and it hasn't been edited yet, but I got all the footage I need for it. So those are probably the most eventful things for me, and a few other things, lots of things, you know, in the works that I'm excited about, but still, you know, still figuring it out. So let's see here. All right, I think we're going to program some bass real quick, and then we're going to put a wrap on all of this. Get rid of our drums right there. Let's see here. Going to create a region for the bass. And we actually do want to start with like a good long note. And I think it's actually going to be right here. It's, yeah, I think. Not sure how long exactly, but. Boom. Dum, boom, boom, boom. So I think we might do like a boom, 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 boom kind of thing. That's how bassists talk. I'm teaching you guys how to talk like musicians. So drummers, they say like, we're going to do like a bop. That's how drummers talk. Bassists are like, we're going to do like a boom, 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 boom thing, you know. Guitarists are like, we're going to do like a wow, 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 you know. That's how musicians talk, so. Okay, bum, bum. I think it's that note. Bum. Okay, I think that's right. I think we're just going to kind of loop that. Honestly, that might be it. It might be cool to like have a little bit of variation in there. I'm going to try something. What if we did not quite so much boom boom on the first one? Boom boom. Like, let's see what this sounds like. Not sure I like that, but we'll roll with it. Let's see what we get if we copy and paste it. I almost think I would like it the other way. So if it did the boom, 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 if it did that first, and then it did the boom, 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 boom. Of course, I'd probably have to modify the drums to kind of work with that. See what that sounds like. Yep, and then real quick, I want to try something. I mentioned it might be cool not to have the bass at first and then have the bass kick in the second half. Let's see what that sounds like. going to go back for context. Sometimes you got to listen going into it. Like, you don't want to just listen to a section. You want to go back to the previous section and then hear how it transitions. So.
Take much more when you find a way. Somehow we let it go.
I cut off my guitars too soon. Yeah, I was like, what happened to my guitars? I cut them off too soon. Sorry, that's the one I messed up on, so I gotta copy and paste that. Okay, I'm understanding what happened now. Put that here. And let's see, 1, 2. Let's see if this works. Gonna listen to just the guitars real quick. Cool. All right. So, there's definitely further I could go with this. I think for simplicity's sake, we're just going to roll with this for now. And I want to grab one more thing. We'll kind of listen to where we ended up with. But I think we're going to put a bookmark here, and then I'll probably continue working on this on my own. And then, so this might be the last time you hear it for now. The next time you hear it, it might be a finished product. So. But that won't be for quite some time. I definitely have some other songs that I'm working on first. Okay. I want to do one more thing real quick. I'm actually going to take everything we did here. And I want to copy and paste it. I kind of want to give you guys a sense of what this could sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me cut here. So I'm going to put the verse first, and then hear what it sounds like going into the chorus, and then we'll hear what it sounds like coming out of the chorus. Unless... I mean, I don't know. We might roll with that. We'll go with that. Again, so there we go. Welcome to my world. So there's so many possibilities of what you can do, and it's just a matter of exploring each one and seeing what you like best. But we're going to roll with this kind of... Okay, it's not that big a deal. I just need to play it. All right, we're just going to roll with what we got right here. So it's going to be like an isolated guitar at first, and then it's going to kick in, and we'll go with that. So here we go. Here's what we ended up with for this evening's stream.
Take much more, and you find
Well, that's what it could be. It could go back into it there, Dun, dun, you feel back into that chorus. So there we go. And just so you all know, whenever I write these ideas, I do have like temporary titles for them. And I usually, like whatever kind of vibe I get from the initial idea, I just kind of try to come up with a lyric or a phrase that encompasses that. So the temporary title for this, I should have mentioned at the beginning, but I forgot about it, is called Searching. And again, I kind of mentioned that the vibe I get from that guitar part, just this very like isolated, kind of dissonant, the word searching came to mind, like just sort of searching for answers, searching for clarity. And then even when the chorus kicks in, this sort of sense of desperation. So just searching for something. Now, will the finished song be called Searching? I don't know. It depends. I got to write the words first, But that's usually what I'll do. Let me see if I can find it real quick. When I've got songs, in the works like that, I've got a section. Yeah, okay, I do. So I've got a section of songs to work on, and I sort of write down like the emotions that I feel or any visuals that I think of. So for Searching, I've got powerful, impactful, raw, honesty, vulnerable, overwhelmed, angry, love. Those are words I wrote. I probably need to add more visuals in there. So like, for example, sometimes I'll write things like I wrote a song, the song Farewell to Fear. The title of that was called A Lonely Snowfall, because sort of the vibe, I could picture the sort of image of like a street lamp, and just like at night illuminating this sort of one area, and there's like a fresh patch of snow just like all over the ground and these gentle snowflakes, but it's kind of that really isolated, like just single light kind of filling that space, and then just darkness everywhere else, and so kind of a lonely snowfall. And it's sort of calming and thrilling at the same time. And so using words like that to sort of describe the feel, like any word you can think to describe what kind of visuals or what kind of emotions you feel when you hear a piece of music, that can be really helpful when it comes time to writing the lyrics, because maybe you've got some lyrical ideas that sort of match those descriptions, or maybe you can think of a time in your life when you felt that way, and you can sort of focus on that and kind of write a song based off of that experience. So that kind of stuff comes in handy when you're building off the rest of it. Love that bass part. Thanks, Silas. Appreciate that. I'm going to catch up with you. Y'all were having some conversation here, and I'm going to catch up with that, and then I think we are going to put a wrap on all of this. Yeah, give me just a second here. Need to grab something. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Becky was saying... oh yeah, I would have preferred pizza, but it would hurt too bad to eat. Yeah, I think ramen would be a better choice if you're having some tonsils issues. Last Saturday went to a graduation party. That was a lot of fun. Hung out with friends, ate some nice dinner, took pictures, and some of us sang karaoke. That sounds fun. I remember going to a friend's and singing karaoke. That's a lot of fun to do with just friends, and kind of the whole concept of karaoke. It's not about like singing great. If you sing great, that's fun, but it's really just about picking a song you like and then just being silly with it. So sounds good, Silas. Never tried karaoke. I'm scared it would have the effect of a banshee screaming. Well, again, karaoke is probably okay for you. That, like I just said, it's really easy, especially for someone like me. If I did karaoke, it'd be easy for me to overthink it and just be like, oh, I want to do a good job. I want to sing good. But there's plenty of people that are like, I can't sing, but I'm just getting up there and I'm just going to be as entertaining as I can. So, definitely go for it. You can certainly try some personal karaoke, look up some vocal lessons and sort of build up some confidence on your own. Just film yourself singing. And then once you feel like, okay, I'm not too bad, then you can kind of take that step and try some actual karaoke. It's actually something I'm thinking of trying. I think there's a diner in town, and I think they have karaoke nights. And so at some point I might try to start making some trips out there. Some of you know, again, I kind of have a goal. I'm trying to get out a little bit more, meet some people. So I thought karaoke would be kind of a fun way to do that. Silas was saying during karaoke, sang Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day, and Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen, the musical. Sang those by myself and with my friends. We sang together. Yeah, that sounds fun. We sang Baby by Justin Bieber, and some others friends sang Let It Go by Frozen. That sounds like it was fun. You're taking me back. I remember, like, with my friends, y'all remember the song Hot and Cold from Katy Perry? Even before that, do you remember the game Just Dance? I think that's what it was called. It was for the Wii, and you hold the Wii remote and you have to match the dancing motions of the song. That game was like, you know, the hit. You know, that game was such a good party game and was pretty popular. And there were dancing motions. I can't remember it, but there were like distinctive dance motions for that song, Hot and Cold. And me and my friends, like, we had learned it and memorized it. So I remember having pool parties at my friend's house, and we'd have food, and we'd just be swimming, and we'd have lights on at night, and we would just crank that song through the speakers, and we'd all be next to the pool and going through the motions, and then like jumping in the pool afterwards. So it was a lot of fun. So you're kind of taking me back to those days. Definitely enjoy them because they're fun. They actually really liked how I sang, and I was quite happy with how I did. That's great. That's good. Definitely keep improving. I've heard you sing before, and I think you have the potential to be a really good vocalist. There's definitely things to work on and improve. So I don't want to give you a false illusion and be like, oh, you're great, when there's like nothing to work on. But I legitimately think you have a nice quality to your voice, and I think if you keep working on it, if you keep looking up vocal lessons and really working on your voice and trying to improve that as a singer, I think you could be a really good vocalist. So definitely keep singing karaoke, keep practicing, keep learning, and that's great. Keep building up that confidence and that experience in your singing voice. Party was a blast. Good. Leo was saying, me and my friends always karaoke songs from the Fallout games. That's probably a good song selection there, And then Becky's saying, just took a shot of apple cider vinegar. So gross. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I think it is good for your throat if you're dealing with some throat issues. But yeah, that's pretty rough to have to down that. Mom raised me on that stuff. Oh yeah, on apple cider vinegar. And then Silas saying his sisters love Just Dance. Yeah, it was pretty popular. You should do a metalcore cover of Hot and Cold. It wouldn't surprise me if someone has already done that. But yeah, that'd probably be a fun one to jam out to. Hey, I like the song. I actually like a lot of Katy Perry songs, so that could be a fun one to do. Let's see here. You had to drink it as a child? Or did you? Yeah, probably. I guess Leo had a lot of experiences just having to drink apple cider vinegar. Yep, keep working on it, Silas. I'm glad you're doing that. No. And no, it's good. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put you down, saying you're sounding prideful or anything. It's just that be aware of this. So sometimes friends don't want to hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? So sometimes friends, they might say you sound nice. This is me being critical of myself, but I even had a girl tell me she liked my voice once. And honestly, I think she told me that because she liked me more than I was actually singing good, So just be aware that that's possible. Sometimes it's kind of the same thing like your mom giving you compliments. Like, you almost can't trust your mom's compliments because she's your mom. She's always going to like anything you do, no matter how good or bad it actually is. And so, don't misinterpret what I was saying. I wasn't saying hey, keep your ego in check. No, I'm glad you're building up confidence because that's super important. That's the hardest thing as a vocalist, is being hard on yourself and being critical. But it's just being honest. Like, when you sing good, heck, I'll point out to myself, I just recorded vocals and, I just did a couple takes. If we listen to my voice tonight, not great, not bad, but not like awful, but not phenomenal great, that little bit right there. It's okay, but not great. And you find a way, you just can't seem to let it go. That phrase there, that sounded pretty good. And you find check out this part. Like, okay, maybe not quite right, but... And then this part's gonna be rough. Like, I technically hit the note, but it sounds like I'm struggling. Like, that doesn't sound great, you know? That would not make the final record, you know? And you can't take much more. And you find a way. Somehow we let it go. So I'd say, like, the majority of it was, like, okay, and then there were a few parts where it was like, okay, that sounded good, and then there were some parts where it's like, yeah, that was rough, I'd need to get that better, you know. But that's just what I mean, is like, when you're learning anything, just being objective about it. You have to sometimes be careful with other people's opinions, because sometimes they're valid and sometimes they're not. It depends where the opinions are coming from. But sometimes people, you know, they're building up your ego, they're like, oh, you sound great, and it's like, well, actually, you know, I have a bit to work on, you know, and then vice versa. Sometimes people are just going to be mean, and they're going to be like, your voice is weak, and you might be a phenomenal vocalist, and they're just, you know, they're just being hateful. So it's just about keeping an objective mindset and just being honest. You definitely want to build up the confidence, but you also want to be honest about, you know, about where you are with your ability, and continue trying to grow. So, So I mean that to be encouraging, just not a, so yeah. Yeah, Leo's mom and grandma would still do have me and my siblings drink it mixed with carbonated water. I guess it's good for you, you know. I think it is good for you. Yeah, and I certainly don't believe you're saying anything like that about me. Yep. Yeah, I just mean it to be helpful, hopefully. So, but you're doing great, Silas. Keep it up. Grows very slowly. Yeah. Ever heard of the Ramsey Voice Studios? It sounds, I mean, I know Dave Ramsey, but he's like a financial guy. Ramsey Voice Studios. It's a channel I've been using. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he makes some good stuff. He's probably a good one to watch. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, Ramsey Voice Studios. That's probably a good channel to watch. So, again, like I said, you're doing great. Keep it up. And awareness is just a good thing to have. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was just a little glimpse into what I love to do, a little glimpse into what goes into actually taking an idea and turning it into a song. And again, right now we've got basically a first draft, so this is not anywhere near being done, but it's kind of the beginning of like a good works. It's always fun just hearing like what it could be, hearing the potential, and like already I want to keep playing with this and see what we can make of it. But guys, thank you for hanging out. Again, if you want more music from me, if you like my music, if my music connects with you, and you enjoy it, and you'd like to help me so I can make more music for you, so I can bring you more music, there definitely are ways to support me. You can see pinned at the top, and I just posted a link. Through that link, there's a couple ways to support me. The best things you can do, one is to sign up for my email list. If you sign up, click that link at the bottom, signing up for my email list. This just helps me to keep you notified, keep you in the loop, so you can know whenever I post a new video, whenever I do these live streams, whenever I release a new song. If you want to be up to date with that, be sure to sign up for my email list. Second thing, if you want to help me to keep doing this, you can show support through either leaving a tip. There's a virtual tip jar, or getting yourself a piece of merch. Get yourself a piece of like a hoodie or a hat, something that you would like. There's a merch store and a tip jar, both available in that same link there. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Those of you dealing with some sickness, I hope you feel better. Those of you who have some stress concerns, hang in there. I'm praying for you. You're going to get through just fine. And whatever you're working towards, I'm excited for you and the plans that you have ahead of you. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.